happened.
to.
Now, maybe the jurors, not knowing that, said, well, today is Wednesday. Maybe that made a consensus a little bit easier. Yeah.
Arthur, we have to step away. Stay there. I know you've got a lot going on. I will check back in with you shortly.
Yeah,
and
the jury's
also
entering
thank
the
the
courtroom
crew
right now, Antoine.
as well. Okay.
Yeah, the jury's entering the courtroom right now. So let's see what happens.
All right. Thank you, Arthur. I know you're busy. Good to see you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So Arthur has to get ready to do his job. Bless his heart, but Arthur absolutely was correct in his describing, that whether it was either the Trump trial, Mangione.
Is Brian outside?
Brian's outside.
He might be able to even
Jacob's in. Do you have Brian on Zoom?
He might be able to hear cheers. Or
is Brian hearing anything?
Able to tell us quicker than.
I know, but there might.
You know what I mean? Okay. No, please. Okay, the deputy will prior to the verdict. In the matter of U.S. versus Combs, count 1, not guilty. Sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura, not guilty. Transportation of prostitution, guilty. So count 1 and 2, not guilty.
Wow.
Mann Act, guilty.
Wow.
All right, so that's sex trafficking, no. Count 1, no. Count 3, yes. Mann Act, Cassie.
And,
now we have
count
Jane.
3 is Mann Act, Cassie.
Correct. Now we have Jane for the sex trafficking and the Mann Act left. No. Oh my God.
If they say yes on Jane,
if they said not guilty for Cassie,
it's just going to be the Mann Act.
well, we got to see what they're doing. What did they say on 1?
Not guilty.
Oh,
guilty on RICO.
Racketeering,
so
not guilty.
Not
guilty on RICO. Sex trafficking of Cassie, not guilty. Transportation of prostitution for Cassie, guilty. So now we just have Jane sex trafficking and sorry, I'm yelling. Jane sex trafficking and Jane Mann Act.
Sex trafficking, not guilty. Transportation of prostitution, Jane, guilty.
Wow, so 2 in the Mann Act. 2 Mann Acts and that's it.
Up to 20.
But you know what? But that may be concurrent, and the prosecution.
Well, it's 2 separate acts. It wouldn't be.
This is
Oh my.
even though he's found guilty, huge. This is a loss for prosecutors.
Yeah.
I mean, their whole point was Diddy was a racketeer who forced them into sex. The jury said no.
It's a loss.
Of Jane, and just now the jury has decided that Sean Combs is not guilty of sex trafficking his former girlfriend who testified under the pseudonym Jane. So the jury has now believed that the relationships that Sean Combs had with his former girlfriends, Cassie Ventura and a woman who testified under the pseudonym Jane, were not criminal, did not involve sex trafficking. All Sean Combs has been convicted of here is transportation for the purposes of prostitution. And Kira, those did seem to be the most evident crimes that Sean Combs committed. We heard testimony from the male escorts. The jury heard about the cash that they were paid, and as prosecutors told them, they were not in those hotel rooms for scintillating conversation. Sean Combs guilty of transportation for the purposes of prostitution, not guilty of racketeering conspiracy, not guilty of sex trafficking. Kira?
All right, let's put this in perspective now.
A liar. I just didn't believe Jane Doe. So not guilty on those. So essentially, he's done with those. The 2 counts, the 2 Mann Act counts. They found him guilty for sure. So there's 2 felonies. He's probably going to get probation. I would believe he's probably going to be walking out to that. So just so we all are on the same page. RICO, done. Sex trafficking, done. The only thing you got him on is guilty of the Mann Act. So there it is. There it is. Sean Combs, not guilty on the most serious charges, guilty for the 2 Mann Act violations. Wow.
He coming home.
That's why I said this is crazy. This is crazy. So I don't know, but with all the drugs and all that stuff, I think the defense attorneys did a fantastic job in making sure this jury believed this was all just nonsense and not something. Even though, to be honest with you, I would have found him guilty on the RICO, and I think I would have found him guilty on the Cassie, but I wouldn't have found him guilty on the Jane Doe. So I agree with Jane Doe. So we have just so we're clear on the 5 charges. I have the PowerPoint up. that has those 5 charges. But yeah, so they found him not guilty on essentially 3 of the 5 charges. The sex trafficking, they don't believe these women were sex trafficked. They believe they were participants. Which I can see.
Hello.
Let me go through the list. So let me put this up on the screen, share this instead. So we have sort of verdict: transportation to engage in prostitution. These are the only 2 he was found guilty of. Everything else is not guilty.
Which is crazy because they're whores.
So, and it's a maximum of 10 years in prison. So these 2 he's found guilty. And those are the 2 where I think everyone knew, like, the money was there, all that stuff was there. It was just, those were obvious, right? The prostitutes are on the stand saying, yeah, he flew.
Where is Trinidad? Nate. Oh, that was me.
Said they don't believe this was a racketeering conspiracy. It's personal. Sex trafficking by fraud, force, and coercion. Both those counts, not guilty. He did not sex traffic Cassie. He did not sex traffic the other woman. And the last count 5, RICO conspiracy, he has been found not guilty. So he is free and clear. He will be, if he gets more than a year in prison for any of the stuff, for the 2 counts he was found guilty of, these 2, I'd be shocked.
Racism. It'll be racist.
Sean Combs has been found not guilty on the most serious counts. That is what it is.
As prosecutors told them they were not in those hotel rooms for scintillating conversations.
Questions that, I'm sorry. The judge can say that. I ask the media, why? I mean, why? The jury is excused. The media, any juror can say no, but there should be no problem with the media, anybody in the media, approaching an excused juror and saying, could we talk to you? And if they say no, fine. But I'm sorry. I've heard enough of judges saying to the media, don't talk. Why? Why? The jurors can say no if they want. So I'm sorry about that. That's just wrong.
Let's go get them.
Well, we're gonna try, and everybody else is gonna try. Everybody wants to know, especially now. Especially now. I mean, look, Diddy got convicted on 2 serious felony counts that could land him in prison. I don't think he's going to get the maximum. He's a first-time offender, and you have to look.
Oh, my bad. F these hoes, child. My bad, y'all. My bad. Hold on. I was going to Twitter anyway because Harvey's getting on my nerves. So Reddit's breaking the jury at Sean P. Diddy's ex-trafficking trial reached a verdict. Court officials said after 7 weeks, they said no, ma'am, no. So this messes up all of that, like we was talking about last night, if y'all were there, of all they getting flued out. You bitches done fucked up. You whores have fucked up. Get your own fucking ride now, hoes. I can't wait to see what they do with OF. Sean P. Diddy Combs convicted on prostitution counts, but cleared of more serious charges. So when are we going to say that there's no more prostitution and hold these whores accountable for how it is that they make money because they lazy ass bitches? Oh my goodness gracious. That man might come home today. Diddy was found guilty on Wednesday of prostitution-related offenses, but cleared of more serious charges after a criminal trial in which 2 of the music mogul's former girlfriends, whores, testified that he physically and sexually abused them. Combs was convicted of transportation. That means no more getting flued the fuck out, hoes. Ain't no more getting flued the fuck out, hoes. Hold on, y'all.
This is amazing.
Hello? I'm on a live stream telling them what's going on with Diddy is coming home. Yeah. Yeah. Child whores. Then they need to start convicting prostitutes. Okay. I'll call you back. All right. Bye-bye. Child, Lord help your people. Diddy was found guilty, blah, 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 blah. Gomes was convicted of transportation to engage in prostitution, but acquitted of racketeering, conspiracy, and 2 counts of trafficking, a partial win for the former billionaire known for elevating hip-hop and American culture. Child. Prosecutors say Combs for 2 decades. All right. We already know all that. Let me see who talking. Let's go back to Nate.
Was lost because the prosecutors, the Jane Doe.
I'm going.
I think that's where this case was lost because, like I was saying yesterday when we were doing the partial verdict, the Jane Doe sex trafficking, I just didn't believe it. I would have been a not guilty on Jane Doe sex trafficking too. Cassie was a little different. Jane Doe, it just wasn't. It just wasn't there. And also with the RICO, the reason why this result doesn't make a lot of sense is because the 2 counts that they found him guilty of are RICO predicates. So they can say, okay, they've already essentially found the RICO predicates. Those two charges that he was found guilty of are RICO predicates. But the problem is that you also got to find that this was a criminal organization, right? This was a criminal, this was a mob, or this was like a street gang, or he was doing this on behalf of the business. So now they're saying, well, you know what? We don't believe it was a criminal organization. We believe all this was
multiple times because the defense asked for reconsideration. And some of the main things that they pointed to was how Diddy was violent, how Diddy kind of utilized his enterprise to enact all of these violence. Well, the jury has spoken. There was no criminal enterprise, or at least they did not find that Puff Daddy or Diddy made any of these crimes possible through his power, through his money, through his control, through his violence. So there is a high likelihood that with his plane sequestered, with him in being Miami, and the fact that he is a celebrity where he can't really go unnoticed, there is a high likelihood that the judge may release him on bail today.
Yeah, I mean, they have his passport.
Oh, what, they gonna hold him in for the damn holiday weekend? That's some bullshit. Let that man be free. Let him go, child. Let him go. I'm not said I told y'all no on the RICO out on appeal. I think that's what you're saying. CP says, Michonne, you actually holding Cassie accountable. Woo, child. Hold on. So count 1, since it's here, racketeering, not guilty. Count 2, trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, not guilty. 3, transportation to engage in prostitution, guilty. 4, trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, not guilty. Hold on, y'all. And count 5, transportation to engage in prostitution, guilty. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. So now they want to say, oh, he might not come home today. Child, let that man go home and enjoy the 4th of damn July, child. Have a hot dog or something.
But he has an enormous amount of means, and obviously the prosecution is going to oppose this. They're saying that his attorneys have been trying to downplay this years-long conduct. But Misty, if you're the judge in this moment right now, do you release him with the sort of hope and the prayer that he's not going to be able to fly out of the country somewhere?
I think it's very likely that he gets released now that he's convicted on these Mann Act charges, and that's it. You're not talking about the sex trafficking, force, fraud, and coercion. You're not talking about RICO, this widespread criminal enterprise. You're talking about 2 isolated Mann Act charges. And the analysis is going to be, number 1, danger to the public. The other is going to be flight risk. So flight risk is what you're speaking of, to the extent that there's enough conditions on him to keep him and have him come back for sentencing. I think it's very likely that he gets released. And when he gets sentenced, this is really important, because what's going to happen is the prosecutors are going to present aggravating factors. The defense is going to present mitigating
We should make that clear. That does not happen today. That happens in months from now.
That happens down there. But the fact that sex trafficking is an acquittal, it's going to be really important, because that idea of who's exploited in these Mann Act charges, that Cassie Ventura or Jane were potentially exploited, that would be the prosecution.
Step in misperception is what led the SDNY here. The SDNY has phenomenal prosecutors, has a phenomenal office, and their record speaks for itself. But I think in this case, they overestimated the strength of their case, and this is what happens when a jury speaks.
Aaron, outside court, tell us about who you're seeing. How big of a crowd is it? The sense of the support, if indeed he does walk out of those golden doors, as you said, the type of support he will receive.
Well, out here now, Kira, there are, of course, a number of reporters, a number of bloggers who have been following the trial, curious onlookers, tourists, those in the park across the street doing their morning workout. But everyone is certainly curious whether Sean Combs is going to walk out those golden doors released on bail. His defense attorney, Mark Agnifilo, told the judge a moment ago Combs would be willing to put up $1 million bail to assure that he shows up for his sentencing. Federal prosecutors just opposed his release on bail, saying that he has committed a litany of crimes and there's no reason to believe he would do anything different if he is.
So what do y'all think that the blogs is going to say and all the people in there? Now, before it's always, before it was, he did that. It's Cassie, it's Cassie, it's Cassie. You think they're still going to be on that type of time talking about, oh, it's not fair, it's not right. See what women have to put up with. How dare he do this to a woman? Oh, you mean give her a whole ass private jet to come and F his ass? Child, let me find this shit real quick that I didn't saved and sent to myself to talk to y'all about later, child. I had to change the lunchtime thing, child. That's tomorrow. I ain't got time. We got to talk about this. I only got an hour because I ain't even supposed to be off right now. I think it's Kofa that said, so we all said F work, basically, okay? Live from New York says, so who going to Diddy's next freak off? Child, as long as I can record, I'm going. So I guess I'm not going, but I'm going to be on the outside. I'm going to Miami. Diddy told us that it won't stop. I ain't even got my headphones on. I don't even look like nothing. That's why I'm on screen, because I'm a mess right now. I ain't even like ready for work technically. Come on, child. What y'all talking about?
The best argument for sentencing. And yes, he might spend some years in prison, but the amount of time that he would spend is far less than if he fled and never came back. And he has children here. He has enterprises here. He has at least 60 civil lawsuits that he has to fight. He has, in my mind, and maybe I'm making too strong of an application as a defense attorney, he has far more reasons to stay here and fight now after this verdict than to flee and never come back. And so do I think he's going to get released? Probably not. That's a high bar to overcome, and I don't think the judge will allow that. But I think there is a very valid and strong argument that he is not a flight risk, and I think there's a possibility, albeit very small, that he walks out of those golden doors.
And Aaron, from what I understand, the judge has now said he is going to take his time to consider if indeed Sean Combs will be released today or not.
He will give a decision today, Kira, but the government and defense attorneys are asking for a period of hours so they can write letters, make their arguments on both sides. So it could be quite a while before the judge decides whether Sean Combs deserves to be released on bail. The government is making the case that he still faces up to 20 years in prison after his conviction on the 2 transportation for the purposes of prostitution charges, but the jury has cleared him of the most serious charges of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy that could have sent him to prison for life.
Brian, how do you think, what was it that defense lawyers did? What was it that they said? What was it that they had that you think helped deliver a victory for their client?
I think the case against Sean Combs was the first time, at least in me covering the Harvey Weinstein trial, where I was sitting in court, the R. Kelly trial, where I was sitting in court, and many of the cases that I think we would associate with the Me Too movement, where the defense was willing to say, my client is indefensible in some of his actions, that what he did and what you saw is wrong, but making the very strong distinction and walking the very tightrope of saying what he did wrong and what he's being accused of are 2 different things. What we've seen of people in the past of saying, well, they're all lying, you can't trust these women, you can't believe them. I think that's not a way to handle these cases.
No.
And I think what the defense did well is in talking to the human aspect of these are very messy relationships. Sean Combs is an abuser, and Mark Agnifilo said it himself. If Sean Combs was accused of domestic violence, there would not be a trial because he would plead guilty. Do I think that's a bit of showmanship? Yes. Do I think that would actually be true? Maybe, maybe not. But I think arguing it nonetheless in front of a jury and admitting to some of the bad facts and trying to parse through it all, I think it gave them credibility to get to this verdict.
Let's bring in our Bernardo Villalona, who's been also with us as an attorney.
All right, Bernardo, whatever your name is. Good morning, Trinidad. Good afternoon to all of y'all. Hit the like button, y'all. What is going on right now? Y'all already know that man is coming home. Let that man out today. He gonna get one of them hot dogs like Trent showed last night on his daggone show. Trinidad said, let him out. You already charged him. Bring him back for sentencing. This is still a win for Diddy. For sure, for sure. Remember what we talked about last night, Trent, because of the Mann Act stuff? That means it's going to be, you can't be flying hoes out no more. These hoes can't get flown out no more. Y'all better not. You be up here on X trafficking. I'm going to laugh at you. If y'all go do this and you get caught up and you bring them bitches out, I'm going to have to laugh at y'all. And I'm talking to y'all. Live from New York, appreciate you. Feds usually give close to or max time if you take it to trial. So Diddy might still do no less than 15 to 20. We shall see. We shall see. Well, Quill, appreciate you. He said, we ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now because it's bad boy for life. Shout out to you. So the blogs. This is amazing. The blogs got something up. Y'all already know they do, child. Creek, as it says, so can we let the Tiger King out now? Who's that? Who's the Tiger King? Shout out to Creek. Appreciate you, boo. Who's the Tiger King? I don't know who that is. I don't know. My bad. Sorry to mess up the mood. I don't know who that is. Diddy is a human demon that handled whores who were already whoring. And so that's all he got was the shit for the whores that they are. Shout out to Alexander X, member for 17 months. Shout out to you, boo. Good morning, Messi. Y'all hit the like button. Subscribe if you are new. Woo! That's right, boo. Shout out to Alexander X. Shout out to Ali. Yeah. Don't be up in here trying to act like somebody's supposed to be like, oh, I'm so upset. That's okay, because I'm sure the blogs will say it. So let me go on over here because the neighborhood talk got it up. Diddy found guilty of transportation in Cassie and Jane Doe. We still gonna sit up here and say Jane Doe. I guess they got to. But cleared of RICO and ex-trafficking charges. Verdict for Diddy as the jury has officially reached a decision on all charges in his high-profile trial after weeks of explosive testimony and intense media coverage. The courtroom erupted as the judge read the jury's decision, guilty of transporting both Cassie and Jane Doe. So just like me and Trenda was saying last night, so basically he took his girlfriends on vacation, and now that's considered ex-trafficking. Don't miss that, y'all. They said Jane Doe, who we think allegedly is 50 Cent's baby mama, and then Cassie, who we know is his daggone girlfriend. So they benefited from being his fucking girlfriend. He took them here, there, and everywhere, and he paid for it all because I know these whores didn't pay for shit. So he's in trouble for transporting his fucking girlfriends. So there's no winning. So if you don't take your bitch anywhere, you a bum ass bitch. If you take your bitch somewhere, that means you're an ex-trafficker, child. He faces a max of 10 years for transportation to engage in prostitution. How is it prostitution when they're your girlfriends? How is it prostitution when you are in a relationship? Basically, it sounds like it, big boy. No more vacation, no more trips together with your spouse's y'all, because they get mad at you and they're going to sit up here and take you to court. They're going to take you to court and you're going to be in trouble. I'm just saying. That's what it sounds like to me, child. They were his girlfriends. There's no winning for y'all, gentlemen. No winning for y'all. Okay? Child, I still want some vacations. I don't care. I ain't crazy. I'm going to need that credit card. All right? The trial stems from a federal investigation and the allegations that Diddy was involved in a sprawling criminal enterprise that allegedly included ex-trafficking, distribution, and assault. Multiple accusers came forward, claiming that the music mogul used his power and influence in the industry to manipulate abuse and silence victims over a span of several years. He better keep these lawyers. These lawyers' practice about to blow up. These lawyers' practices are about to blow the F up. They're going to be in high demand. Them prices just went up. Throughout the trial, prosecutors presented graphic witness testimony, surveillance footage, and electronic communications, blah, blah, blah. Comments. OFC, he's not guilty of X trafficking because the entire industry would go down. The world runs on trafficking of humans. Yes, sir, brother love is free. Praise be to Allah. I don't know about all that now. I knew he wasn't going to be found guilty. She got paid, then tried to HANG him and ruin his life. But look at the outcome. Diddy got the W. Plain and simple, these are not the comments I was expecting. Plain and simple, the feds did a terrible job on this case. They were not trying to win, wanted to smear, and hoped the court of public opinion would help them win. That's what Trent said last night. That's what he said last night. Very few people beat a RICO case, praying for all the victims. Telling your story is never easy. Child, go to hell. Time served. And so many people tried to argue with me about Diddy being guilty on the RICO. People have to, wait, Cree, what was, isn't that what Dave was saying the other night when he was on your show? I was watching him and Trinidad argue. Wasn't he saying that he said he wasn't going to get found guilty on this RICO charge? I believe that's what he was saying. How is he guilty of transporting but not trafficking? Might as well been not guilty at all since he's guilty of giving them a ride. Basically, yeah. Guilty. Thank you, boo. Yep, sure did. Okay, I expect Dave to come on tonight. He'll be home soon. They were willing participants, and Diddy lacked self-control due to his money that gave him power. It's not right, and I do not agree. However, the prosecution failed terribly, and the facts are the facts. Now everybody knows he's out the closet. Hate it had to be this way. So when we were talking last night, though, I specifically asked, was there any indication that Diddy was having X with a man? And Trent said no. So I want y'all to tell me, is there anywhere at any time and any point that it shows that Diddy was dealing with a man? I thought, and from what I understand, it was the men came for Cassie and the other biatch so that they could be the whores. Well, at least the one anyway. Let me not call Cassie a hoe. The other one was a whore and still is. And I hope the first thing Diddy does when he gets out here is to stop payment on all those rent payments that he's been paying that whore all this daggone time. Allegedly. No, he's still been paying the rent. So once he stops paying the rent, she's gonna go beg 50 Cent. Who think 50 gonna start taking care of her after all this? Child, you cannot bring shame to the family name. And 50 Cent, you chose a whore to be your child's mother? So then that boy got to grow up and then know that his mother is a whore. She got a link in her bio. Oh, Lord, help your people. All right, where is, let's go see what the news people are saying.
One of his former assistants who testified under a pseudonym, and to those prosecutors who told those jurors multiple times that Combs is a criminal, that he should be behind bars for the rest of his life because he was running a criminal enterprise, but that was not proven today.
Chloe, stand by. We're going to come back to you soon. I want to bring back in here NBC News legal analyst Kristen Gibbons-Fedden. Kristen, you and I have talked before. Why was this a federal case, right? If there is evidence of violence, if there is evidence of force, we have the video of the intercontinental beating back in 2016. Why was this not a state case instead of a federal?
They're going to be flying Spirit Airlines. Shout out to Take Heed, who I was listening to earlier about the carnival shit. Said, I'd never take Spirit Airlines. Child, ain't nothing wrong with no Spirit, no Frontier, okay? But you know they always be on some damn Frontier bullshit, acting half damn crazy, arguing, fighting, and everything else. Woo! Hoes are going to be hoes on Spirit Airline. Don't be on my trips, though, child.
Know why they didn't bring forth the Jane on the state charges, because those are more recent. But again, I think it all comes down to the fact that the federal prosecutors really wanted to put forth this RICO charge. We saw the RICO charge using a non-mob element in the R. Kelly case, and they used it successfully. Unfortunately, it was not used as successfully here. And I think what the bottom line here is the jury saw Cassie and Jane as girlfriends, as a domestic element here. They did not see that that his crimes were made possible because of his power, because of his money or control over that enterprise. And so to your point, the state interest, I think, would absolutely have been served. As a former state prosecutor, I can tell you we prosecuted cases where obviously we did not indict on federal charges because we could only indict on state charges, but where the underlying misconduct was the same, and we were successful in doing that.
You know, so many people remember your coverage with the Bill Cosby case, and there are obviously many, many differences with that case compared to.
Child, he should come home and get on YouTube. I'm following him immediately. If he has a party, child, that would be crazy. That would be crazy if he came home and had a party.
For a variety of different times where Cassie and Combs broke up and then she went back. Do you think that even in this day and age, people still have a hard time getting their heads around that?
I can tell you, just being even though I'm a former prosecutor, I do civil litigation. I represent sex abuse survivors as well as survivors of intimate partner violence every single day. And I can tell you jurors still have a really hard time around it. In this particular trial, just like in the Cosby trial, we did have an expert to talk about the dynamics of sexual abuse, the dynamics of intimate partner violence, and really specifically that cycle of violence where it is really the norm, not the exception, that individuals remain in contact with their abusers, where individuals may remain in a relationship with their abusers, where there's a lot of cognitive dissonance. You know, I think even today after Me Too, and even after significant victories in various trials, including Weinstein, including R. Kelly, and many others, people still want survivors to be wrapped up in this beautiful box. And what I mean by that, Laura, is that if they are abused once, not multiple times, but once, they immediately go to the police. They immediately either go to the hospital if necessary. They have pictures of their bruises. There's a DNA test, etc. And the police are called immediately. There's a conviction. But that is not the norm. That is not the norm.
All right, let's go to Twitter, child. Shut up. Let's see what Twitter is saying. Woo! This is amazing. Thug got off. Diddy got off. God bless the next person charged with RICO. They might HANGU. So how much time Diddy getting? Y'all determine how much time Diddy is getting. Let us know what you think. B, well, appreciate you. Thank you for keeping us sane today. I'm keeping you sane. Y'all in trouble. Thank you, boo. But if I'm keeping y'all insane, y'all in trouble. But hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you are new. Diddy is going to walk. Diddy, what if your children get treated the way you treated men and women? Not guilty. Doesn't mean your negativity won't come back to your kids now. I hate when people do that shit. Just trying to basically saying they hope something happened to your kids. So y'all really don't care. Like I said, these people don't care about these damn kids, child. 2 in probation. That's not bad. Lost in Translation said the same thing. Okay. Diddy has been acquitted of X trafficking. We know that. I got to be slow here on Twitter. Guilty on 2 counts and faces 20 years in prisons after X trafficking his girlfriend, mind you, his girlfriends, mind you. Diddy winning is insane with all the testimonies of the victims. Child, what? The horse? What? Showing Diddy Combs is factual proof of how corrupt the New York judicial. Oh, now it's the New York judicial system, child. As long as you're a black New York jury will find you not guilty based on skin color. Oh, is this reverse racism? So because he black and maybe the jury is black, I don't know if they are or not. Y'all let me know. I don't know. That's how he got off. Wow. You cannot. Racism. White people. Are y'all going to be mad? Not y'all. But white people, are y'all going to be mad like around OJ time when you didn't know how to handle yourselves? Because, you know, sometimes shit just don't make sense. Exactly. Child, what's the name? Zidane. Exactly. Black people have it. That's why I'm like, oh, so you're white and you're just talking some stupid racist bullshit. Now black people got it easy. Child, please go to hell. In New York, mind you, okay? Diddy was really found not guilty for his RICO. Shaking my head. I said all the prosecution has done this whole time is prove that Diddy was a violent, horny ass ninja. Something we already knew, which I think we did. And y'all kept telling me I wasn't paying attention to the case. Well, apparently it was, because look where the F we are right now. Crazy world we live in. That is the truth. Crazy world hoes. Shout out to the hoes. You're going to have to pay for your own sugar, honey, iced tea. Yo, you know what? Shout out to Gail at Night in the building. I see you, boo. You know what?
Amazing.
Yo. It's summertime, y'all. I wonder if they're going to start canceling trips and bitches is about to get online, start crying to say that he was supposed to bring me out and he canceled the trip. How y'all going to go on vacation now? How y'all going to go to Dubai now? Oh, the Dubaians don't care. How y'all going to make it to the Caribbean now? How y'all going to get out of your sad ass situations? Oh man, if OF goes down, I'm here for it. Thank you, Trini. Said time served, 10 years probation and a health program and a fine. Woo! Definitely probation for sure. You know what, prime time? I'm gonna hurt you. You ain't it. Shout out to all of y'all. Let me see what else they got saying here. Diddy money long AF. Well, like they were saying on the news program though, he still got to fight with Lil Rod and all them other people that's suing him. Like the latest person that's suing him in The Sun and said you're gonna get all. Allegedly, Diddy said you're gonna get all this Diddy love, child. Please. Hopefully he learned his lesson. Listen. Hopefully this man has learned his lesson though. Okay. Leave these bitches alone. Now, I'm not saying that he need to go find somebody and get married. I ain't saying nothing like that. But y'all, you better deal with the hoes that's in the city that you in. That's all I'm saying. Diddy, you hoes done ruined it for all of y'all. I can't wait till we find out that he stopped paying whatchamacallit's monthly rent. They're going to stop paying for y'all shit. You ain't going to be getting no more than Birkin bags and shit. What y'all going to be on the internet talking about now? What y'all going to be on the internet bragging about now? There's nothing. Diddy better try to date Oprah, I guess. Diddy, but it's Harry Wisson's middle name. I don't know what that means. Let's see. CNN has released more information about the JRs. I think we knew this, didn't we? It don't say like what their makeup is as in race. Now someone will come through and say they're not a jury of his peers because they were not the right age or some bullshit. Nothing surprises me. There were not enough women on the jury. This is not right. Child, I tell you. Judge adjourns court while he considers whether to free Sean Diddy Combs on bail after his conviction on a lesser charge. Boozy reacts to Diddy's verdict.
Because I'm tired, man, I'm so glad Diddy free, bro. The reason is because I'm tired of seeing us black moguls get took down like that, bro. And I'm tired of seeing.
Stop doing dumb shit, okay? Stop doing dumb shit. Even though I guess taking your girlfriend on vacation, we didn't know that was dumb shit, but now y'all know. Do with it what you will.
And us black people go against us black moguls like that. And I feel like if Diddy was a white man who done all this shit for people, I know he ain't paid people, but.
Oh, Boozy, why go there? Please stop this.
He done all this shit for hip hop. If he was white, they would have had so many white people out there protesting for this man losing his life behind.
Protesting for what? Protesting for what? Just like, what is the point of protesting for Carmelo Anthony? His ass got to go to court. That's it. That's all. Don't make me mad, Boozy. Don't make me mad.
And a relationship, and people always Boosie was on Diddy's side. Nah, it ain't that. It's because I'm thinking about 7 children. Y'all thinking about one person. I'm thinking about these 7 kids who've been.
Boozy, Diddy should have been thinking about his 7 kids, y'all. We not absolving this man from his accountability in this shit. Fuck that. He risked it all for. Listen, For the two that he's being convicted here, this is really stupid at the end of the day. But one is a whore, period. The link is in her fucking bio. Because the man wanted to have X with people however he wanted to have it. That's not a big deal. But you tramping all around town and all the other stuff that he allegedly, we probably know that he did, which may not have come up in here because he thought he was untouchable. Please let's not act like those things might not be true. Please let's not act like those things might not be true. What we seen on that video, please let's not act like we didn't see what we saw. Diddy is not an innocent. Diddy is not an innocent. He may be found not guilty of this and guilty of that, but he ain't innocent of shit. He done done enough. He done done enough to people. He done been involved in enough shit. He thinks he's untouchable. I don't care what nobody say. He is not an innocent. And if he wants to put his shit in jeopardy and be out here looking like an asshole, even though he got all these damn kids and a new kid at that, that's on his punk ass. That's on his punk ass. Sir, stop this.
And in my kid's position.
Another you, exactly. You ain't putting out the best example for your kids either.
Not knowing if your daddy gonna come home or not is a burden on the child. So all y'all.
Then I suggest he act right moving forward. How about that? How about that?
No, I'm thinking about them damn children, man. So man, I'm glad he's free, bro. You know, like I've been said, I don't feel he was guilty of nothing. You know, nothing but domestic violence. You know.
Boozy, please shut the fuck up. Oh, he wasn't guilty of nothing but domestic violence. Sir, please shut the fuck up, child. Y'all got these ignorant niggas out here, nigga, and today, I know it's going to be a full day of nigga in. I already know. Nigga number one.
But, the court spoke, man, and, man, I'm happy that dude children, man. I know his feeling right now, right?
How you know?
I'm just happy for them children, man. So,
y'all, please.
You know, Diddy sit your ass down somewhere.
That's the only good thing you've said.
Grab Stevie J and your children and get the fuck on.
That's the only thing that made sense that he really said, child, please. You Negroes, child, you can't. I can't do this. I don't get your transportation to engage in prostitution, child. He's gonna walk. I'm so tired of men getting away with abuse. Let Diddy burn. You sick Fs. Oh, there's a woman who's upset. Oh, wah. She's so sick of this. Oh, well, were you saying that it made sense for her to stay even on that video where he kicked her ass? And I ain't saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's wrong. She didn't leave. When them people showed up, she went back to him. She was taking them damn prostitution trips. So help me understand where I'm supposed to have sympathy for Cassie, and I don't. And I don't. I'm trying not to call her a hoe, but y'all, whores have taken an L today. Whores have taken an L today. Draga. Thank you, boo. Draga said Diddy was too slippery. Diddy was too slippery for them to hold on to. Shout out to you, boo. I could not. That's funny, though. That's funny. Let's see. So what have we learned from this? Diddy was innocent. No one said Diddy was innocent. They said he was not guilty. The government was angry that considering prostitutes didn't have taxes deducted from their pay. You know what? That could be it. That could be it right there. OF girls still walk free because oh, maybe that's the difference. Is that the difference? No, because OF is probably the same as YouTube. It's a 1099, so you got to pay your taxes at the end of the year or something. Oh, because it's reported income from OF, and then if Diddy pays them, then you don't know it. Oh, that's a thought, though. That's a thought, though, because if he's paying hand to hand, then they don't know how much, and they're not getting the taxes. That could be it. That could be it. Uncle Rick said America will go above and beyond to protect whoredom. Shout out to the hoes. Oh, shit. woke quill. Corn is legal and tax reported. Exactly. Like, what do we think OF is? Whores. She better get to getting. She better take advantage of Jane Doe, quote unquote, better take advantage of this time and get her money up so she can get as much as she can. I'm just waiting to hear that he stopped paying her daggone rent. That's what I want to hear. People made so much money off this Diddy trial. Seems like there was never a real case here. Basically, they just exposed his freakiness and profits were made. Basically. Music artist told all them stories. Now Diddy coming back. Oh my God. The Gene Deal. I remembered his name today. That Gene Deal guy that been running off at the mouth. The only person that's about to be cool with is Stevie fucking J. Where's Stevie J at? He the only one that was out here supporting that man. Nobody was. I wonder if Diddy has been taking names for only to not deal with these people no more. To know who your real people are at the end of the day. Who was out there, like Trent says, kicking his back in all this damn time. While he was back there suffering, nobody came to see him. Everybody turned on him real quick. That circle need to be a little bit smaller, sir. You need to make that circle a lot smaller. Kanye talked about him too? Oh, well, Kanye talked about it. He crazy. But if Kanye is got his own set of problems though. But okay, if Kanye was talking about him, he bet not ever, never, ever talk to him again. Gene Deal, of course, absolutely don't talk to that man again. All I'm saying is, you better be doing a better job of who the fuck can be around you and who can't. Oh, Kanye supported Diddy. Oh, okay. All right. Shout out to Kanye. Oh, Kanye went to the courthouse. My bad, y'all. Okay, Kanye went. Okay, shout out to Kanye then. Not because of any other reason then. You can really, during a tough time, see who your people really are and who they aren't. If this is not an indication of that, then I don't know what is. Because all them people, when they was getting paid, didn't give one damn red cent what that man was doing. Because as long as they was getting paid, however they was getting paid, it was all good in the effing hood, right? It's okay. You don't know. Now it's suddenly here come Cassie. This is what he did to me. And I'm telling you, the reason that she did this, allegedly, in my opinion, is because he had that baby with that last... This is amazing. With that last woman. That last woman with the Chinese, the Asian baby child, whatever the fuck that love. Little baby love. He get to go home to see baby love, okay? Because he had that baby with her. And maybe, just maybe, I don't even think it's over Koresha. I really think it was over that baby. Because that baby came out of nowhere. And you know damn well she wanted a baby. And I'm really surprised, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, that we didn't hear about any ABs around here. Or did they? Were there ABs going on around here? Shout out to my girl, Aisha EP. I appreciate you, boo. She said, on my way out the door, but here's some love for my boo. Shout out to you, boo. My girl. Thank you so much. Always showing support. Let me see what let's see what some of the news is saying. Because I got to be careful with Twitter.
They're going to move their way through the courts. They've been on pause. But interestingly enough,
Child, Cassie's boobs is boobing in that shirt, child.
That you do in a criminal case, in a civil case, you can be compelled to testify. So he is likely, for the cases that don't resolve and settle, which many do, but the cases that go to trial, you could see him sitting for a deposition.
Oh, what if him and Koresha get back together? Child, I can see it. Or did she not support him though? She stayed. I feel like she backed out of it. Ooh, Lord. Hold on a second, y'all. Oh, this is okay. Thank you for that. Hold on a second. Hold on. Look. So this the girl. Shout out to Trent. Thank you, boo. This the girl that he had the baby by. Child, they all look the same. Except for Kim, Diddy got a type, child. Baby love. Dana Tran, mother of Diddy's child, seen getting pampered after subtle sign of supporting rapper. Oh, maybe he'll marry her because she supported him. That baby is adorable. That baby look like she Hawaiian. That baby look Hawaiian. Not even just because of this outfit. That's just what she looked like. Okay. I'm telling you, this is what made her mad is this lady coming out of nowhere having this man's baby. She all right looking too. Hey girl, you go girl. She about to get her $10,000 a month if he can afford it. Allegedly. She about to get her $10,000 a month paid. She probably living in the house, actually. She probably good. Uncle Rex said them little light-skinned Mexican-looking girls is the devil. Clearly not. Clearly Cassie is. Even though, what's the other girl look like? What's the alleged Jane Doe? I guess she does kind of look like that too. Allegedly. Because we don't know who Jane Doe is because we stupid. We were stupid about this. Excuse me. T1TCP, you got to think about this too. None of the major celebs came to MJ's aid. You know who came to MJ's aid? Donald Trump. The racist came to his aid. Y'all remember that, right? Child.
Because Trump bad. Trump bad. Again. Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Go, you're being a racist. Racist.
Trent says Dana was supporting him. She was just in court yesterday. Oh, yeah. He might be going ahead and dealing with her moving forward, and that be it. You hoes is done. Cassie little Mexican too. Yeah, I think he said that one time. You got to make yourself look more black or something like that. Allegedly. He got an Asian fetish for sure. Child. There's another picture of her. Yeah, for sure. There's the kids, all the sisters. Well, they're missing one. Oh, isn't that cute? Oh, yeah, they about to have a party, all right. The mama, the kids, the Asian lady, baby mom. You hoes that messed up. You can thank Cassie, your girl. You can thank Cassie, your girl, for the fact that you will not have any. Let's go over here. That you ain't gonna be flued out no more. I'm assuming they're waiting to get a glimpse. I don't see no decisions made yet.
I could be like rapping. I got the family realized that. The family, they want to send. I'm like, I got a good space there. I don't want to. The years are too. And they just send me here. The first time they sent me here.
And how if you really follow the RICO according to the law, yeah, they proved their case, but did they really prove it to this panel of 12 jurors who are not well versed in the law? And did they prove that there was an organized criminal enterprise here? I thought that was a little up in the air, but I really thought because of that video, I thought that video was so powerful as evidence. That Cassie was forced back into a room. Sean Diddy Combs is naked in this video. They are in a mid-sex act. She is running away for her life. she's being kicked in the head and dragged back to the hotel room where a security guard testified that there was an escort in there. She clearly in that moment did not consent to that sexual act. And I was very surprised that the jury could vote not guilty on Cassie Ventura, being that there's a video in where she's clearly not consenting to sex.
Do you hear this woman making that shit up? That woman just made that whole story up. She ain't no video what happened in that room, and we saw her not leave once the damn security got there. What is she talking about? Girl, shut the fuck up. This is Law and Order, Law and Crime Channel.
Forced Sean Combs, trying to drag her back into that freak off. And it's incredible to think that at the end of this, though that video is going to live in the minds of so many of us for so long, that it really didn't lead to a guilty verdict in relation to this trial. And that's something that
I didn't forget about that shit. I don't give a fuck. She stayed. That's the point. Is it me? Am I crazy? 2 people were there where she could leave. One was security. She fucking stayed. What are we talking about right now?
Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of people, it looks like, kind of getting into a heated debate, likely after the verdict, people got news of it and people are probably wanting to discuss it. But I just see a crowd of people kind of looking like they're maybe debating something. I heard the name Cassie kind of come out, and there's just a bunch of shouting and a lot of people kind of crowding around probably to see what's going on. But really kind of at the center of it, I just see 2 men kind of going back and forth arguing. So not sure, since I'm kind of across the street, what's really happening, but it seems like these 2 men are really getting into a very heated debate. There's some clapping going on, some people cheering. So it's likely that they're just kind of, the emotions are pretty much running high after this morning's verdict.
Yeah, I can hear them just there in the background. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Mina, I have a super chat question coming in for you. I'd like to know how much of this is going to affect Diddy's future and career after all of this. Will this break him? This is from Miss Cheryl.
He will never, in my opinion, be viewed the same way. You know, maybe there wasn't enough evidence, or maybe the defense did an awesome job of discrediting the victims here. But I think that it is clear that these women were victimized and there was illegal criminal activity.
It was clear that these women were victimized. Wow. Woo! I think I'm a man, y'all. I'm telling you, I think I'm a man. Because I don't understand how you watch that video. Yeah, she was AB'd in that video, for sure. And she stayed. Oh, it's Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, that's what it was. She was on the phone. He didn't keep her from getting off the fucking phone while she was on the phone, calling whoever the fuck it is she was calling downstairs. How about that? No, forgot about all of that? Oh, okay. My bad. And then they're gonna ask her, the most emotional person on this panel.
Activity going on, not just on the behalf of Diddy, but on the behalf of his employees.
Selma.
I don't think that his reputation bounces back from this. You know, there are some people.
You gonna ask the white woman? You gonna ask the white woman? Child, colors forgive anything. Colors, shout out to the Ebonies. Forgive anything. Say I'm lying. Now the question is he going to be able to do anything with all the people that you do music with? Meaning Clive and Child, or whoever the fuck it is that you deal with when you do music. That's the question. The colors is going to be behind you. The colors ain't going nowhere. They see this as, yeah, we won against some white people. But then the women be like this woman right here saying, it's not fair. It's not fair to Cassie. She put up with so much, and so did Jane Doe, and they shouldn't have to live like this, victims. No, see, this is why y'all go around with foolishness, supporting foolishness, and you can't even tell a real victim from a non-real victim. Yes, I said that, because you just say that everyone has trauma, drama, and everybody has been done wrong when that ain't the daggone case. Some people bear responsibility for the choices that they make. He was absolutely wrong with the DV. Ain't no way. We know that probably allegedly ain't the first damn time. She got away, she went back. She got away, she went back. She dating somebody else, she went back. She participating, she on the phone, you got the proof, and you still gonna say she a victim. She was only 19. You don't know.
People saying, oh, well, you know, he's just I don't even want to use the word that people use, but they're normalizing some of the behavior here. I think there's a group of people that are never going to view this as normal, as something that you can just say, well, he's just extra freaky. No, I don't think he comes back from this. And I think it affects how he moves moving forward.
She hopes that he won't come back from this. This is what you get for asking a white person a question about Negroes. You ask Negroes questions about Negroes. I'm a Negro, but I'm not camera ready right now. Okay? Trust me, I'm black. Coloreds don't give a fuck. Let that nigga go on tour if the tour places allow it. He might need to sit back. Will Smith is doing fine, ain't he? Is Will Smith okay, y'all? Now I know it's not to that level, but that was pretty bad to be on national fucking TV at such an event to do what he did to Chris Rock. I think he got another movie or two. I think he fine. Child, what if Kim, what if Baby Oil comes out and tries to say, we want you to be our spokesperson? Now, I don't think that's going to happen. That wouldn't be good for them. But child, coloreds will support.
And I think he's going to have to be very, very careful, because if he comes out and he continues this behavior of giving women drugs, of
giving women drugs. Oh no, Diddy is out here giving women drugs. So women aren't taking them. So women aren't responsible for putting shit in their own mouth, including that hot dog. Wow. I don't want to be a woman, because you know what? Bitches like her make us look like we're stupid with a capital STUPID. Now we sitting up here trying to say that he's responsible for a grown-ass adult, excuse me, taking DRUGs. Man, if you don't go to hell, and I think Skinny Boy said she's black or brown. Yeah, she is Angie Martinez looking. But she's still fucking in her emotions, talking dumb. Girl, shut the fuck up.
Soliciting prostitutes and continuing these sex acts, he's gonna find himself right back where he is.
She's hoping that's what happens. She's hoping that's what happens.
So I hope that he gets the help that he needs in order to understand that what he did to some of these victims is just not normal.
Now, if you do a particular type of X, now you're not normal. Okay. Is anybody going to be offended by what she just said, especially if they don't do vanilla sex? Girl.
Yeah, no, incredibly good point. I know that we're hearing some commotion. I can hear it in my ear. I don't know if it's coming off over. I know Elizabeth's been talking about some of the people outside of the courthouse. I want to get to Elizabeth in just a moment. Do have another super chat question. William, this is for you from Kelly Bezick. Can they sentence both charges consecutively?
Sure, absolutely. Again, I don't think they will, but the judge does have at his discretion the ability to sentence Diddy consecutively to these charges. So he could get, a 10-year sentence and
Straight Panther, that's okay. Everyone just brushes anything that Cardi B ever did right under the rug. You don't know. She was poor in the Bronx and she had to feed her family. She had to do what she had to do. Nobody was worrying about bringing nothing up with her on that ASA Act, huh? Nobody cares. It's okay. It's Cardi B. While she gets online as a, what does Skinny just call it? Child, Mexican adjacent child, whatever you just said. While she over here using the N-word like there ain't no tomorrow. Oh yeah, you bring her in, not you, Straight Panther. Y'all bring her in whenever you feel like it, and she's the culture. And then 10 seconds later, how dare she? Child, these people don't know what to do. This is, well, thank you, Skinny, white adjacent. Child, this is how colors are, y'all. Okay, I'm colored too, child. All right. This is how colors do, and this is why many people don't F around with the most of them, the regular smegulars. I do not, because I can't get caught up in foolishness. Because they be coming up with some foolishness. Be supporting people they don't need to be supporting. Out here, big upping people they don't need to be big upping. And somebody, I don't care if a whore is gonna whore and then get caught up in her whoredom. I don't care. If that's the best that you can do with your life, especially given what both of those bitches look like, that's a you problem, not a me problem. And you wanted to be around that man so bad You wanted to be around that man so damn bad that you was willing to put up with what fucking ever in order to do it. You don't know. In your abusive relationship, it takes 7 to 8 times before you leave. I don't give a damn. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. You got one time to put your hands on me. We're done. You have one time to kidnap me. We're done. How hard is that? So it sounds like a lot of y'all need some help. Sounds like a lot of y'all need some mental health help to me. Maybe you're just weak. Maybe I'm just a man. I'm a white supremacist talking points. But I'm pretty sure that the pain from someone knocking me the fuck out is enough where I'm like, child, yeah, nah, that's not gonna work. But if Cassie and Jane Doe were suffering so bad, why is it that they were so involved for so damn long? 10 years? That woman, we already knew she wanted to marry that man. We already knew she wanted to marry that man. Child, if these people don't go.
The 10-year sentence stacked on top of it. And that's not likely to happen. But there is a possibility that he could get, for example, on charge number 1, let's say a 24-month sentence, and on charge number 2, maybe 10 years of probation, so that he is under the supervision of the probation department for a while. He probably would have to take drug tests. He probably would have to abide by the terms and conditions of that probation. And if he were to violate it, then there could be a probation surrender hearing that could land him back in federal custody. That's how that could happen. But to get the sentences as far as incarceration stacked one on top of the other, that's highly unlikely.
All right, Elizabeth, I want to go back out to you because I know I can hear people chanting in the background as there's been a group of people along with the media outside the courthouse. What are you seeing?
Yeah, it seems like from what I can hear of them, because a lot is going on. There's a lot of traffic behind me. Obviously, there's a lot of people, and obviously I have my earpiece in right now too. So a lot is going on. But what I did hear is people chanting, "Let him go, let him go." I'm assuming that means let Sean Combs go, but obviously I'm not over there. So, but given the events of today,
yeah, let him go, let him go. So it looks like the judge will decide later today if Diddy can be released on bond while he waits sentencing. The judge says that he will decide at 1 p.m. today. Judge then gathered papers, stood up, and walked out. There is a look of relief on the faces of his family and lawyers. Oh, I can't imagine why. I cannot imagine why. Let's see the comments here. Diddy could be going home with his family today. This dude, official Daddy Mo, says, well, the Diddy verdict is living proof that you can literally do anything you want and misbehave if you have money. There we go. He's about to have the best party he's ever had. I'm so happy for his family. The check cleared. Oh, I guess he paid people off now. Judge went to lunch like it wasn't Diddy decision day. He said, I got to eat. I am on a food diet plan. The getting time served in probation. That's it. I think God wanted, Lord. I think God wanted to use him as an example of his humility and grace. You're never too big to be humbled by the man above. I'm not saying that's not true, but Kanye was his only friend. No, Stevie J was a friend too. Brian Steele phone ringing as we speak. 2 RICO cases. May not be guilty in the court of law, but in the eyes of God, he's guilty. This is why victims don't speak out. Yeah, this is why victims don't speak out. Yeah. Whatever you say. Y'all better pay attention because the black boule is real and the dark circles of power behind this industry have been pulling strings for decades, and they're going to continue to go into it just like people continue to take out student loans. Even after everything that we have seen, people still out here taking out loans that they can't afford. People still out here making dumbass money decisions. People still out here in this economy buying cars they can't fucking afford. People going to do what they going to do. That's why I can't have any empathy or sympathy, because nobody be learning their damn lessons, let alone coloreds, because they love being at the fucking bottom. This business is demonic to its core. They might beat some charges here on earth, but spiritually it's already over. No amount of money, influence, or hush-hush settlements can cleanse the stain when the truth comes to light. This should be a wake-up call because the entertainment game ain't what it seems. Behind the flashing lights is a darkness deeper than most could ever imagine. One way or another, justice comes always due. If not in this life, then in the next. That's nice. But we talking about us here right now. And there's plenty of people that's still going to go into the music industry, the rap industry. They dying to get into the rap industry. And you know what else? There's going to be plenty of bitches that will still be knocking on his door. Say I'm lying. Outside of even Baby Love's mom, outside of even Caresha, if she decides to come back, bitches will still be waiting and willing to be with this man. Say I'm lying. Say I'm lying. Because honestly, at this point, people need to be talking to the bitches. At this point, people need to be talking to these biatches, these whores who will do anything. What people do for money. Y'all know that song. These whores will do anything for money. Whatever he wanted, she would do. Like these people don't know how to say no. Like these people can't even say, child, I do have a fucking limit. They can't even stand up for their own damn selves, but the public got to stand up for your ass. That's you and your fucking life. If that's how you want to spend it and that's what you want to do, then you will need to answer to the Lord when the time comes. Child, that man that spoke that comment a little while ago act like everybody believe in God. Child, you say all that. Many people don't give a damn about none of that. But it ain't never stopped a bitch from going and being the whores that enough of them are, including when R. Kelly was on trial. And we synced the video and we knew what was going on. Them bitches still went. They still went. Y'all so equal, strong, and independent and dumb as a fucking box of rocks. I'm seeing all these free Diddy comments from the same people who wanted him cooked from day one. That probably is true because, child, depending on the way that the wind fucking blows is how colors determine how they gonna feel that day. I mean, his reputation is to hell anyway. I don't know. Child, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Child, this is crazy. This is crazy. Let me see who else is on because I don't want to see that other girl.
Contributor Kelly Carter for more. Rena, what's the latest?
Well, Diane, just a couple of minutes ago, supporters of Sean Diddy Combs were out here outside the courthouse chanting, "Let Puff go." Right now, that is what people are focused on right here. They are focused on the decision that we will see come from the judge's bench sometime today, whether or not we will see Sean Combs walk out of these golden doors, out of federal court after he's been held in federal custody since his arrest last year. His defense attorney is arguing for his release on bond today, but prosecutors, they want to see him held behind bars. They will be fighting for significant prison time. Combs did turn to his family after the verdict was read. He said, "I'm coming home, baby." Of course, we don't know if that is the case yet. His mom, Janice, has been here every single day of this trial, and she told our team that her heart was fluttering as this verdict was read, Diane.
Bernardo, Combs' defense attorney is arguing for him to be released today, even saying that his private plane is in Maui, that he doesn't have access to it, he's not a flight risk. The prosecution's fighting that. How do you see this going? They now have a few hours until they have to give a letter.
So the judge should release Sean Combs today because he's been acquitted of the most violent crimes in terms of the most serious crimes. And there's no mandatory minimum now. So quite honestly, this judge could sentence Sean Combs to time served or even to probation or ultimately up to 10 or 20 years if you run the sentences consecutive. So in terms of he's no longer a flight risk, yes, because he has beat those most serious charges. Usually prosecutors say it's because a defendant is facing a mandatory minimum that they won't come back so they can face their sentencing day. But I think highly likely that the judge will release him today and set a date for sentencing because we have to be clear. Sentencing is not going to happen in the next 2 weeks or so. Sentencing will take place. I don't see it taking place any earlier than 3 months from now.
And I want to bring in ABC News Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky on that point. Aaron, in terms of process, how does this move forward now?
So the judge has given the attorneys a deadline an hour and a half from now, and they are going to submit letters. Then there will be a hearing in open court as the judge decides whether to release Combs. The defense argued because he was acquitted of the most serious charges, he deserves release on bail. Combs offered $1 million, offered to put up his luxury homes, and certainly the court and everybody else saw these pictures of his opulent homes in Miami and in Los Angeles that were part of the case. Prosecutors opposed it, said Combs still faces the possibility of 20 years in prison, and therefore he should be held up until the time of sentencing, because it's still possible that he's going to be hauled off to jail, and he represents a flight risk and a danger otherwise because of a predilection of to commit other crimes, according to prosecutors. Combs told his family, "I'm coming home, baby," after he was acquitted of the most serious charges. Applause broke out in the courtroom. If he does get released on bail, we're told he is going to walk through those golden doors and make a statement outside here on the sidewalk. It would be an incredible moment if someone who's been incarcerated for the better part of a year is able to win release on bail and able to talk about the outcome of this trial.
Kelly, Combs has had such a huge influence on the music industry and beyond. What did these charges do for that? And does this verdict change anything?
I mean, the charges, it's definitely a mark on his legacy. And I think it's a significant one. You know, I think it's noticeable that, you know, we're not talking about the parade of famous people and titans of industry who showed up to support him in court. So I feel like that is indicative of probably what we should expect his status to be in the business world that he left, you know. And again, everything changed once that Cassie lawsuit, civil lawsuit, dropped in 2023. I mean, we hadn't seen much of him since then, and certainly once he became incarcerated, we didn't see an outcrying of support from the biggest names in you know, Hollywood and in the music industry. So all
right, I'm tired of them. Let's see what TikTok is saying, child. All right, let me know if you can't hear whatever they about to say, child.
Racketeering conspiracy, not guilty. Count 2, not guilty. Count 3, guilty. Count 4, not guilty. Count 5, guilty. So essentially, the jurors found that he was guilty of the Mann Act. That is the transportation to engage in prostitution, but they found him not guilty on sex trafficking, very serious charge there where he could have spent a minimum of 15 years in prison, and not guilty on that racketeering conspiracy.
Fire the person who's in charge of doing the drawings. We need to know who that is, because they need to be fired immediately.
Which he could have spent up to life in prison for.
John Diddy Combs has just been found guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution, but not guilty on sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Now, the biggest charge here was the RICO charge, and he's been found not guilty. I'm outside of—
Yo, the fact that people are saying that the justice system is so messed up is crazy. That is crazy. Lord, 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 the racism is coming out, child. The racism is coming out.
Boom, real quick, the Diddy verdict is in. So boom, the big one, racketeering and conspiracy, they found him not guilty. Sex trafficking, they said not guilty. Transportation to engage in prostitution, that's the Mann Act, they said guilty. Count 4, sex trafficking, they said not guilty. Count 5, transportation to engage in prostitution, they said guilty. So basically what this means is the jury feel like, we don't think he had a criminal enterprise, right? We just think he was nasty. Now, Diddy, we do believe that you was flying people out to engage in prostitution. Okay, so they was having sex for money, and you was buying them flights and stuff to do that. And when the homie pulled up and said, you purchased his flights, we seen the receipts, so you can't deny that. But what the jury don't believe is that you were forcing people across state lines in order to engage in commercial sex acts. So in order to engage—
Commercial? They was making commercials? Who the hell is Jack Johnson, yeah?
In sex for money. So the people who came, they came on their own. They came because they wanted to come, but you was paying them.
I'm not disagreeing, Millennial, because people just act like people just having vanilla sex all over creation. Okay, people do what they do, but now it's got to be he's so nasty, and so what? And they was very willing to do it for a little bit of money.
And you out of line. That's prostitution. Okay, because you was only flying them or you was only moving them around so that they can have sex. But we don't think you was forcing nobody. You know what I'm saying?
So if they show them having dinner, that don't count as a part of being flued out. Jack Johnson was a heavyweight boxer back in the day who was hated for dating snow bunnies. Oh no. Oh no, you know that's not allowed. Is he dead? Is he alive? I don't know. Is he in jail?
Yeah, so yeah. So is he gonna do a little bit of time? Yeah, a little bit. But the big one, the racketeering, that one carry life. So he skirted that. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this verdict. Y'all had a day off.
Jury has reached a verdict in the Sean Diddy Combs trial.
Oh, we know.
I'm not a lawyer, but the verdict is in. Here we go. Count one, which is
Diddy has been found not guilty of racketeering, not guilty of ex-trafficking Cassie or Jane Doe.
And she got a lot of metal on her face. Kofa, thank you, Boo. He said, are they going to charge the prostitutors for interstate cat selling? You already know. You already know. They're not going to sit up there and charge those whores. It's not their fault. It's never their fault. That's why that lady over here talking that bullshit on the other channel. I got to get away from Timu Angie Martinez, as y'all call her. But this lady got a metal in her face.
Has been found guilty of trafficking male escorts. Do I think that the trafficking of Cassie was fair? No, he should have been charged with that, but he got off. Now, those two verdicts of guilty will only carry a 10-year maximum sentence. Do I think he's going to get that? No. I think his lawyers are going to ask for him to be free today. I definitely think Diddy may walk out of that courtroom today. What he is charged with is only a maximum of 10 years. He may get 3 to 5. He may get probation.
All right, girl.
Breaking news coming out of
The Diddy trial jurors have rendered their final verdict.
All right, guys, the Diddy
The first verdict on count one, racketeering conspiracy. How do you find the defendant not guilty? And so now they'll move on to count two. Count two, how do you find the defendant not guilty? That is the sex trafficking of Cassandra Ventura. On count three,
She not a co-defendant because they wanted her to be the star witness, and she still ain't had that baby. Okay, still, they could have been asking her plenty of more shit.
Diddy has just been found innocent in it.
Count one was the most.
Diddy not guilty 3 out of 5. At least when he get out of jail, he'll still be alive. Huh? Diddy not guilty 3 out of 5. At least when he get out of jail, he'll still be alive. Listen, Diddy not guilty 3 out of 5 charges. Okay, the 2 that stuck with him was the transporting, okay, for prostitutes. We already know, okay? They were going to try to stick him with that regardless, even though they said that Cassie wasn't supposed to be part of this whole thing. If you ask me, her name is on the docket. It is what it is, bro. 3 out of 5, not bad. Now, it all comes down to what they are going to sentence him, which is what we're going to find out at a later date. But I just wanted to update y'all as soon as possible because I had to understand it myself. Like, wait a minute. Was it the 2 or did he get caught with the 1? The RICO stuff? He beat. That's the best part. RICO and conspiracy is the hardest charge to beat in the African-American society. Okay, we'll talk about that at a later date. But yes, the verdict has came in and juror number 5 has said not guilty on RICO and conspiracy. When it comes to Cassie, of course, they hit him with the transportation of pros and also with the Jane.
Be allowed to leave on bail conditions if the judge goes for it. And obviously, from the government side, they were saying that the defense is being a little too lenient, given that Sean Combs was still found guilty on 2 charges, but we'll see what those arguments look like when they return later this afternoon.
We're also talking about the reaction to this verdict. I mentioned the statement from the government. Per CNN, Cassie Ventura's lawyer, Douglas Wigdor, told CNN following, again, the Sean Combs being acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering, found guilty of the Mann Act.
I haven't heard that. They kept that quiet then.
A lot of mixed emotions in that courtroom. Obviously, we would have liked to have seen convictions on the RICO charges and the sex trafficking charges, but Cassie prompted this investigation by the Southern District, and now Sean Combs stands before this court as a convicted felon of 2 crimes. To be very clear, he was acquitted with respect to the sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura. He was found guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution with respect to Cassie. So Cassie and her testimony did support one of the convictions in this case. Let me bring in Mina Say What Lonam.
What does this have to do with a wake up call for black men who think they can step out of line? Child, what do y'all? What the fuck does that even mean? I'm so confused right now. The man was found guilty. The system would be racist. The man is not guilty, and now it's a way to tell men that they can't step out of line. What the fuck does that even mean? How? Child, I know we all think differently, but I don't know what this has to do with black men stepping out of line. Like, he done went through all this. He done been disgraced. All his business is out here. These biatches have turned on him. If anything, it's to tell y'all to stop dealing with whores. That's the only thing that I can think. Stop dealing with whores. I'm just saying. Exactly. Everybody's a fucking victim. Like, what are we talking about right now? Listen to this bitch on the screen. You really have a great life listening to her. People need to freaking amazing. To act like they got some damn sense and start acting like fucking adults. Honestly, Diddy better learn from this for sure. If he don't learn from this, he could end up like OJ and be in jail any old way. Okay, but I don't think this guy has shit to do with this right here with black men being in line, except dealing with whores and who you spend your time with. And knowing who the fuck it is that you hanging with and whether you can trust them or not. That would be every man. That would be every man. All of y'all are having issues, have had issues or whatever. Because whores can say whatever they want and everyone's supposed to believe them no matter what. They can say and do whatever and it's all good in the hood. That's why it would be amazing if OnlyFans changed over and they stopped watching them and subscribing to them, and then you would see them out here saying, oh my God, these bitches is out here talking about how independent they are, and they're being financed by y'all. Specifically married men, for the most part. But y'all, women ain't out here in droves watching people on OnlyFans just because they got titties and booty. I mean, come on now. Pornhub is fucking free, and probably other places that I'm not even aware of. Cause you think that those bitches like you in particular? Cause and then they will talk all this shit about women's empowerment and being financed by y'all, and y'all don't even see it at the end of the day. That's why they can be around here saying this shit. That's all I'm saying. Brutal reviews. Shout out to brutal. I can speak. Reviews. Second L, the feds got a hold. All them resources for possibly 5 years. Young Thug went home. Child, I don't even understand how that happened. Who are these new age Fed agents? Somebody getting fired. Hashtag free Diddy. Hashtag when the hell Tory get. Oh no. What is going on with him? Hopefully he's okay. I don't know. And then with all this, even with this this Mann Act thing with these two hoes, child, I'm just calling both hoes. It's just easier. You got fake Angie Martinez over here talking about these poor victims. Who the victim? Out of those two, who was the victim, Bueller? Okay, you saw that video, and she probably got slapped upside the head, but so did allegedly, Cam's husband was knocking bitches' heads between the daggone washer and dryer. Y'all big up to him like it wasn't nothing. Not y'all, you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying. Why you think they put the women there? Why do y'all fall for it? That's the question. This is the same thing as the colors with everything is racism. If you know what the fucking play is, why do you keep falling for it? If you know what the game is, why do you keep playing a game and losing. I'm just saying. They are still, and women will still go around him. I guess they still victims. Women will still go to this man. Are they still victims? I don't know. You mean billionaires who think they can play on that level? No, they have one job, and that is that. Look at the bigger picture. So this is because I feel like that's what Dave was talking about the other day. Because you're Black and you got money, you can only get to a certain level. And I'm not saying that might not be true. So stop trying is what you're saying, right? So don't ever try to get more. Don't ever try to do more. Don't ever try to have more. And then colors will turn around and say that you're tap dancing for a white man, or you're what is it that they say, child? You part of Candyland. You I don't know, Uncle Ruckus, Auntie Ruckus. It's always some. This is the problem with Black people at the end of the day. If you get to a point where you can do something, we should be supporting each other, but that can never happen. That's fine. I hear you. I understand. So stop trying then is what you're saying. So what you're saying is that we should just stop trying. You know who should be here helping that shit happen? Clown L, Rolly Roll, and all those motherfuckers that are telling us that we can't get where they are because of white supremacy, discrimination, and racism. So just stop. So nobody knows. But when Kevin Samuels was also here saying that Black people need to own their own media, people was giving him a hard time too. Who was that was giving him a hard time? Coloreds. With everything that he tried to show and prove. Because there's always going to be somebody that's going to fuck around and sell out. So we should never try. So he should be happy where he was. He wanted to own something from what I understand. If I'm not mistaken, Diddy wanted to own something, wanted to have more. Maybe he should have did what Tyler Perry did and bought his own ranch or whatever the hell it was, slave quarters, whatever the hell it was, and distributed and made his own. I don't know. But if you're saying that there's only a certain level and that's it, that's all, then everybody, then that's it and that's all, then shut the fuck up about all of it then. For discrimination, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So you're saying that he shouldn't do that? If he was wronged, I think I heard he was the brand ambassador for whatever that company was. He was the brand ambassador for that own company. But this is the part of the problem. This is the part of the problem with not owning your own shit. He was the brand ambassador. Everybody thought that he owned Ciroc, from what I understand. And he was basically the brand ambassador for it. So then I guess he wanted more. There you are. We brought your name up. This all happened because Diddy successfully sued Diageo. Right. So then he won, right?
This is amazing.
So then if he didn't try to go further, I mean, take the suing out of it, okay? That's fine. It's the suing. I'm talking about owning something, having our own shit. Instead of always waiting for white people to give something. And I'm just using that because that's what the narrative is, whoever it might be. Give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that. And then we get into some of these places and then fuck it up. I'm not talking about Diddy right now. I'm just saying overall. Fuck it up when you get there. Because if we're not going to get into politics and do the right thing instead of looking out for ourselves, or get into whatever arenas the judicial system, and do that appropriately instead of being lured in because white people do it too, then it's never going to change. That's what I think. I mean, you got millionaires telling y'all how you need to vote. You got millionaires telling y'all that you can't do nothing because you're Black, even though they did it. You got tethers, no shade, coming in from outside of the country doing what we've been here forever able to do. But you got those Black people telling us that we can't do it. That's what I'm saying. I greed and power. That's the best way to put it. Thank you so much. That includes all these mayors, aldermen, Congress people, whoever. that just get in there and just be like, but white people do it too. That's what I call it. So until they start changing and then we really work together, because really at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Ain't none of this shit's gonna change. And we know the colors ain't gonna work together. Celine, not now, girl. Not now. But shout out to Celine, child. Shout out to Brutal Reviews. Let me get to this. He said, I know they can't wait for Diddy all white party. All the Hollywood and industry freaks been bored since he been gone. Oh my goodness. Who just said LeBron and Cuba couldn't drink? LeBron and Cuba couldn't wait until the Diddy's next party. How come LeBron wasn't ever coming out here supporting his boo, his friend, with the best Diddy parties ever? He shut the fuck up real quick, didn't he? Why wouldn't he support his friend, but he was all supportive during the party times? If Diddy don't see who his fucking real friends are, then after all this, then he will never see it. Not it's easier to get it from the white man. Clearly it's not, while people still out here talking about reparations. I always, when I'm looking at all this, and it's like, y'all, if you could just stop focusing on fucking white people all the time and we just work to fucking together and see that these people who are allegedly leading the black community are not here to help the community, including Jamal Bryant, who is coming up now off of this racism, white supremacy, and all this other bullshit for his own self. He always been out for himself, but now he's out here now taking on political shit and boycotting shit while he's supposed to be over here saving souls, allegedly. Grifting all over the place. Grifting all over the place. None of them. They can all kiss this black ass, I tell you. I wouldn't listen to none of them. They can kiss my ass. And enough people don't see it. Jamal Bryant ain't trying to take care of nothing but his daggone pockets. I'm telling you. He barely preaches anymore. He in the fucking pulpit talking about Target. Nigga, if you don't quote something from the fucking Bible, forgive me, Lord, child. I'm all wrong. Forgive me, Lord. If that nigga don't go and preach a word about the daggone Bible and stop talking about the world, he's ridiculous. And it's in front of our face, but look at all the women in there. And I'm saying women because it's mostly women co-signing his bullshit. We just watched that shit. Listen to all these people that ain't even got your best interests at heart. Niggas won't go looking to shit for their daggone selves, depending on people who don't give a shit about you. Down in your ass, including Obama when he sat up there and said that shit about how you Negroes, you crusty, dusty, musty rusties, need to go ahead and vote for Cam because he said so. Listen to me, because I allegedly got your best interest at heart. Nigga, what? And yes, I'm talking about Obama. Nigga, what? Child, please. Negroes can't stick together for shit. That's why shit ain't never gonna change. Good luck to anybody that think that's gonna happen. I'm just saying. Jamal Bryant too busy talking about how great Cam Newton. He's going to freaking ABCD churches. I have no problem with ABCDs, but y'all, a real pastor. Now, let me not say a real pastor, but in the black community, even though we see in the band allegedly that they be some ABCDs, but everybody just don't talk about it. You know, y'all know that's how that go. But if he's sitting up here going to their churches and talking and having time with them, that's supposed to endear him to who now? So he can get some more money in the pocket? Allegedly. I don't know. Dave says this is not about supporting Diddy. This is the feds trying to start a precedent on RICO charges. They use a big dog like Diddy to get us regular folk. I don't know about that. But these lawyers are about to come up. These lawyers is going to be in high demand. Them prices just went up. They skyrocketed, just like Johnny Cochran's did after he got OJ off. I think he just might. And then if that comes out, they'll be like, he's too freaky. He's freaky. I'm just saying. Child, you know more about the RICO stuff than I do. I don't know, child. That's what somebody else said earlier. I don't know. I'm not well versed. I wasn't watching it like this. I'm looking at it from a different perspective. especially when it's like, I was really expecting more comments, and later on it might be something different, all about women saying that a woman can't never get any justice. Look at what money does. Money can buy, because the people in these comments on the screen are saying, look at what money buys you. A good defense. A good fucking defense. So are you saying that he paid someone off? Why wouldn't he use his money to fight for his life? That would be stupid of him not to. All the more reason to stop listening to people like Jamal Bryant and fucking Rolly Roll and Clown L and go out into the world and get your shit, instead of thinking that someone's going to give it to you because you're you. No one cares about you. Sorry, y'all. Nobody cares about you. Out here. Let me rephrase. Out here. But you can't tell about nothing. Anyway, y'all, it's been an hour and 40 minutes. I got to get back to work. So I might come on later. I don't know. I have to see. I got shit to do. But I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everyone that donated. I appreciate you. Hit the like button if you have not. Ain't nobody trying to get fired around this piece, and y'all better not either. There's going to be more, obviously, more. Waiting on 1 o'clock, I'll be taking a look, child. If I'm able to, maybe I can come back quickly for 1 o'clock. We'll see. We'll see what happens at that time. Shout out to Project. Thank you, Boo. He said it pays to have competent attorneys. Send those same attorneys over to Carmelo Anthony's team. They better go ahead. They better go. They need to first get rid of Minister Naggin on up out of there. That's the first thing they needed to do yesterday, and then worry about these lawyers afterwards. But I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Shout out to y'all. Hopefully I see you in the next one. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. All right, y'all. I see y'all in the next one.